Hello and welcome back to JBCTR. As you can see, we're back at STC Performance in St Albans, where today we'll be fitting a Pro Alloy intercooler. Okay, so as you can see, the car is now in the garage. The plan is actually pretty simple. So we'll get the bumper off, take the old intercooler off. New one is actually a direct replacement, despite not really looking like one. So it's just a case of bolt it in, plug it in, bumper back on. So let's crack on.
Give me something good.
Firstly, you'll want to start at the top of the bumper by removing all bolts and clips that are visible. You'll then need to raise the front of the car so you can access the underside. This can be either on axle stands or on a lift. Then it's a simple case of removing the under tray. There are a few bolts securing the bumper that are located behind the mudguards of the front wheels. You'll need to remove any bolts and clips that are visible before pulling back the arch liner. It's far easier to see these when you are under the car than it is to capture them on film. Now, it's time to remove the bolts securing the bumper. Again, you'll be able to see these when you pull back the mudguard. Remember, you will need to unplug your fog lights. I have LED ones from CE UK which have a slightly longer wire on them, which makes removal like this a little easier. There are a couple of clips on the underside of the car holding the bumper onto the under tray. These can be removed with the trim removal tool. The sides of the bumper can be removed with a slight pull, and the bumper can be pulled away from the car.
Okay, so as you can see, the bumper is now off. And installation really does look as easy as we thought it would be. So the only issue that we found is that this plastic shrouding here also needs to come off, but it looks like it's literally just hung on the crash bar, like the new Pro Alloy intercooler will be. And then just a couple of clips at the end. So get that removed and then we're gonna get the intercooler on.
To remove the boost hoses at either end, simply pull these metal tabs up and out of the tube to release. You may find trim removal tools or a screwdriver useful here. There are a couple of bolts at either end of the intercooler which will need to be removed before the intercooler can be removed from the car. To remove the plastic shroud, there's a couple of plastic clips located at each end. They can be removed with a screwdriver and a trim removal tool. The shroud then simply unhooks from the crash bar. Now if we take a quick look at the Pro Alloy cooler we're installing versus the standard cooler, you can see there is a significant size difference to say the least. It's also marginally thicker than the OEM cooler and has metal end tanks as opposed to plastic. Now I went to Pro Alloy to see how this intercooler was made, and it was a rather eye-opening experience. Of course there is a video, so I'll leave a link to that in the description. Installing the Pro Alloy cooler couldn't be simpler. Line up the lugs on the bottom of the cooler with the rubber mounts, and then you can hook the cooler onto the crash bar. You can then reinstall the plastic clips that were previously holding the plastic shrouding. These will now hold the upper plastic shrouding onto the intercooler. Boost pipes are reconnected by simply pushing them back on and ensuring the metal clips snap in place. Now, to put the bumper back on, it's the same process as removal, just in reverse.
how you fit a Pro Alloy intercooler to a MK8 Fiesta ST. Now I've lined up both the SEC car and my own car next to each other, as you can see here, so you can see the difference between the silver intercooler and the black intercooler and kind of just what they look like aesthetically really. So yeah, that's the Pro Alloy intercooler now on my car's on that side. So with that, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, and if you want to see more of me and my Fiesta and other car content, then feel free to subscribe.
There goes a sight from my soul.